Chairman, Vice-Chancellor, ladies and gentlemen, it's my honour to introduce Dr. Joy Shi. Dr. Joy Shi Mai Chun is the President of the Hong Kong Institute of Technology, a partner institution of our university. Dr. Shi established the Hong Kong Institute of Technology in 1997, and it became a non-profit-making educational institution in 2001. The Hong Kong Institute of Technology emphasises international perspectives and professionalism for all of its students, together with a focus on enabling students who may be socially and economically underprivileged to achieve highly in their areas of study, whether their studies are vocational or academic. It also creates opportunities for students who have not achieved highly in the school system, but who have academic potential and want to learn. We at Teesside are very proud indeed of our partnership with the Hong Kong Institute of Technology, or HKIT as we know it, and are absolutely delighted and very honoured to welcome Joy today as a member of our university. Joy graduated from Hong Kong Polytechnic with a higher diploma in electronic engineering and completed the Engineering Council examinations through independent study. A few years later, after beginning her career as an electronics engineer in the United States and in Hong Kong, she studied for an MSc in Industrial Engineering at the University of Hong Kong and for a Master's degree in Education Technology at the University of Bath here in the UK. She's a Fellow of the Institution of Engineering and Technology and a Chartered Engineer. In 1976, not long after she graduated with her higher diploma, Joy began to broadcast on the Hong Kong commercial radio station, one of two commercial radio stations in Hong Kong. She gave advice live on air about careers and about further education, mainly for young people who were unsure about their prospects and about their next career steps. Joy's radio show broke new ground in Hong Kong. It was the first time that any radio programme had provided this kind of advice or offered this kind of insight. Joy's media career took off from there. She's now the education columnist for one of the most popular newspapers in Hong Kong and a very well-known figure in the Hong Kong media. Joy's radio work was just the beginning of her pioneering career in media and education. She became a lecturer at Hong Kong Polytechnic University and principal of Yan Chai Hospital Pre-Vocation Secondary before she founded the Hong Kong Institute of Technology. She's also the director of a media education company, Media Education Infotech Limited, and she was instrumental in bringing about the first major academic agreement between China and Australia in the early 1990s, when she led a group of 7 Australian vice-chancellors on a visit to a number of Chinese universities. With the support of her radio show and of the radio station, she also played a crucial role in launching the first Australian university provision in Hong Kong, a collaboration between Monash University in Australia and the Chinese University in Hong Kong. University education is an incredibly strong force for social and cultural change, and social and cultural change is always stronger and all the more powerful if it takes place across international borders. Joy was an early, powerful advocate for the expansion of educational opportunities and advice for young people in Hong Kong, and she's also a very strong activist in the internationalisation of education. Sometimes it takes a single ambitious voice like Joy's, speaking on Hong Kong commercial radio in the 1970s, to begin to open new gaps and possibilities within the complex structures of higher education systems. Often it takes an activist like Joy to work through the complexities of two strongly different cultures and to initiate the first steps through these complexities towards new provision and new possibilities for generations of young people. Joy achieved this very impressively through her work with universities in China, Australia and Hong Kong, and she continues to achieve it through the new possibilities she creates for young people in Hong Kong. We at our university recognise our own strength as a force for social and cultural change, and we're especially conscious of how we learn and develop through our international partnerships. We are very honoured, therefore, now that Joy is a member of our university, and I know that we will continue to learn much more from her as we continue to work together. We are also proud, immensely proud, of every student who studies and graduates, both here in Teesside from our School of Computing and Business School, and at the Hong Kong Institute of Technology, from the programmes we deliver in partnership with Joy and her colleagues. It will be through our graduates' knowledge and understanding, through your communicative abilities, through your understanding of technologies and complex systems, that more gaps and possibilities will be found, more creativity released, and more opportunities created for new generations. So, Chairman, it's my very great honour to present, for the honorary degree of Doctor of Business Administration, Dr. Joy Shi.
Chairman, Vice Chancellor, colleagues of Teesside University, graduates, families, HKIT students here, and also the HKIT students in Hong Kong. Thanks very much for the honorary doctorate degree from Teesside University. It's a great honor. Also congratulate to all the graduates today receiving the award. Well, the fairy tales usually start with 3 wishes, and Stephen Jobs, 3 stories for his famous speech. Now today I'd like to share with you the 3 stories about the 3 wishes of me. During my secondary school days, I liked music very much, and I was so determined to join the university and study music. Unfortunately, my A-level results turned out to be a disaster, so I couldn't get in. And my mother, a big supporter of me, and she decided to accompany me to meet the head of the department and try to beg him to give me a place at the university. And I couldn't forget how the experience I'm meeting with this head of the Department of Music. And he looked at all my record, and he said, "You are not musical talent." I was very shocked. I love music very much, and I enjoy the music very much. And years after, when I look back, and he's absolutely right. A lot of time we mix our interests with our talent, so my first wish did not come true. And later I ended up to be studying engineering in the mid-70s. You can imagine. It is quite unusual for girls to study engineering. I was the only female student among 1,000 male students. I'm quite an alien to them. Of course, in that situation, I don't think I would expect to find a job. So very difficultly, finally, I got a job. I was very happy. I was trained in the US. I'm doing quite well. And so I tried very hard to become an engineer. And the outcome is I can't even keep my job. And the reason is because I'm working too hard. I'm taking care of the quality assurance, and I reject all the products. So nobody wants me to be there. So I lost my job. And later, make a long story short, I started to become a teacher, teaching engineering. And this is the beginning of my lifelong experience in international education. And I started HKIT, and this is the first institution in Hong Kong offer a credit overseas program. It is more delighted today that this non-profit making organization we're able to send students over to study abroad, and without worrying about their financial concern because the institution sponsored their overseas trip. Of course, again, my engineering career wish did not come true, but God prepared the path for me, and knowing that I could perform better this way. And being the education columnist, for the most popular newspaper, Oriental Daily, I receive a lot of inquiries about how to plan for the future, how to have a good prospect. And calling is very popular. I receive tons of inquiries, and the parents and the students are so thankful for me giving them advice. And then it comes my son. He so wished to be a medical doctor. I tried very hard to find him a way to get into the medical school using all my contacts. I even accompanied him to have a mission interview in Canada, US, and Australia. And none of them make a success. It was a very tedious and painful experience for both of us. And finally, he attended an interview, and this time without me. Stay very calm, being himself, and prepared to accept whatever outcome that would be. And he made it. I'm very proud of him. And only this time, my wish come true, but really without me and without our effort. As a Christian, I realize in all these three stories that sometimes our wishes may not be best for us. God didn't grant those wishes because He knows there's something better ahead. And when the time is right, your wish may come true even when you did not put in any effort. Now finally, with the support of our student union, can I invite the graduates of Teesside University? Are you willing to donate some of your time in Hong Kong? In particular, one of the government projects, the Asian project, is for the students who are not doing well at O-level, and probably particularly weak in English. But they are lovely students. We'll be very happy to invite some of the Teesside University students to come to Hong Kong. And we believe the best way to learn English is not staying in a classroom, but have a chance to hang around with someone who speaks English. Well, if you're willing to come to Hong Kong, in return of your valuable time, we make sure you will have a good experience staying in such a tiny, tiny apartment, cages, and experience the winter noodles. And of course, you will have a good time in Hong Kong. You can study a professional accredited program in Hong Kong law and Hong Kong taxation. We believe that is a very good experience. And usually the more you give, the more you get. God bless.